Today in Washington, D.C., there was a large pro-Israel rally. There was hundreds of thousands of people came out in support of Israel in Washington, D.C. There were some reports circulating on social media that pro-Israel groups were actually offering students $250 to show up to this protest. They wanted younger people there. I think they worried that there was just going to be a bunch of old people there supporting Israel. The young people, clearly the sentiments, when you look at all the polls, when you look at everything that's happening, the support for Israel wanes the younger the age group gets. So older people very much support Israel. These are a lot of people that grew up, right after World War II, the boomers. They grew up and their parents fought in World War II. They fought the Nazis. They were there helping rescue Jews from the Holocaust. And so there was this, that was definitely talked about a lot more, I think, in schools. It was definitely something that was a source of pride for many Americans, the fact that many of the parents fought in World War II. So I think there's more of an affinity for Israel as this, this is the one place where Jews can be safe. This is a wonderful place that was given to Jews in order to, for one, as a form of reparations for the Holocaust, even though I don't know why they didn't carve out part of Germany and say, now this is yours. But instead, it was Israel, and it was this, here's your land, and this is reparations, and we feel really terrible about what happened. And so I think there was that affinity that is definitely more dominant in the older generations. But then the younger the generation gets, and of course, as time and history has gone on, and there's been more and more reports of what's actually gone on to the native population of the land that Israel decided was going to be the land that they were going to take to create the home for Jews, the sentiment shifts as people get younger and younger. So there was a lot of discussion about how are we going to get young people there, and apparently some of the groups were offering $250. Van Jones spoke at this rally. Now, people might say, well, this is the truly peaceful rally. We were seeing this on social media. This is the truly peaceful rally. We didn't see people, pro-genocide people here. People were peaceful. They were waving some American flags. You didn't see people chanting and rioting like you saw, even though I didn't really see riots necessarily with the pro-Palestinian. Certainly when you get a younger crowd, you're going to probably get stuff's going to happen with a younger crowd versus an older crowd. So there was a lot of this comparison with these two rallies. Now, these people, many of them are clearly pro-war. Now, some people say, no, they're not pro-war. They're just pro-Israel. But watch this clip. This is Van Jones. He made the mistake of suggesting Israel stop raining bombs on Gaza. And in return, the crowd chants at him, no ceasefire. Watch this.
I'm a peace guy. I pray for peace. No more rockets from Gaza and no more bombs falling down on the people of Gaza. God protect the children. God protect children. Let's end all the horror and all the heartbreak in the Holy Land. Let's end all of it. Let's end all of it. But I'll be honest in closing. When I think about what's happening over there, I don't feel powerful to do something about what's happening over there. What I do feel powerful is to maybe do something about what's happening here. Let's take a stand here against anti-Jewish bigotry. Let's take a stand against Muslims. Let's take a stand here against hatred. Let's take a stand here against hatred of all kinds. I don't want...
Well, that crowd had a different idea. So no ceasefire is what they were chanting there. They want to continue the war. They want to, which I have a difficult time calling it a war. I don't think that it's a war when you are a military, a sophisticated armed military against a population that is really under your control. Now, people will say, well, no, Gaza's under Hamas's control, but that's not really true. It's more like a neighborhood that Israel abandoned. They were at one point the occupiers of Gaza. They then left Gaza. They handed over the keys to Hamas, which was not really a truly functioning government. It's become it became one for a while there, but then they didn't have elections. There was a lot of oppression of the Palestinian people inside of Gaza. And Israel controlled whether or not they gave the keys to Hamas. It wasn't true sovereignty. It wasn't true governance. There was no ability for Hamas to control their borders, their ports, their airspace, their water supply, their electricity. If you can't control the basics for your population, then you're not actually a sovereignty. It's basically the government handing over the keys to a gang, a neighborhood gang, and saying, all right, we're out of here. No police. It's kind of the defund the police movement. Okay, no police then here. We're going to get out of here. And instead, we're just going to leave you guys to fend for yourselves. And oh, by the way, we're not going to give you all the supplies that you need. And we're going to give you minimal supplies. And we're controlling all the supplies in and out. So you can't really call it a war when the other side is not able to actually raise a military, and a true military. They've got guerrilla urban warfare fighters. So it's a military, a true military against a gang of guerrilla warfare urban fighters. And so it's not a real war. If it were a war, there's certainly two sides in wars, and a lot of times one side is much more mighty and sophisticated than the other, but I have a difficult time calling this a war. It just seems really disproportionate, and this one group of people is trapped and they're fundamentally under your control. It doesn't feel quite like that, but nonetheless, a lot of people calling for continuing to bombard this trapped group of people, continuing to bombard them, and which is actually what we're seeing is a slaughter. Thousands of people have died. Thousands more are buried alive under rubble, and it's pretty atrocious. And Van Jones is standing there saying, well, I don't think any innocent civilians should be killed. And instead, the crowd chants at him, no ceasefire. It's very hypocritical. When many people were upset that people were not condemning Hamas or were not feeling or showcasing sympathy for the Israelis that were killed, the Israeli civilians, many people were absolutely caring about the civilians. But of course, there were some that were not. And then the criticism was, well, how dare you people? But then and then they turn around and do this at these rallies and chant no ceasefire, and we don't, essentially saying we don't care about these children who are being bombed to death. Well, let me tell you about Start Mail. Are you tired of being targeted with phishing emails? Are you fed up with spam cluttering your inbox? Are you concerned about companies like Google or government spying on your private conversations? Then it is time to switch to Start Mail. Start Mail is a secure alternative to Gmail that lets you send emails like they're in a sealed envelope, making sure your communication stays private and secure. Services like Google collect your data. They use it for targeted ads. Well, Start Mail is strictly ad-free. It does not collect or share any data with third parties or advertisement or tracking. Your Start Mail account comes with all the features you need, including unlimited disposable email addresses to protect your inbox from phishing scams and hacking attempts. So switch to Start Mail. It is super easy. If you're worried about your old emails stored on Gmail or Outlook or Yahoo, well, they've got you covered. Start Mail. They have a hassle-free migration tool that lets you move your emails and contacts with just a few clicks. No technical knowledge required. So over the past decade, Start Mail has become a trusted name in email privacy. So why wait any longer? Switch to Start Mail and experience the peace of mind that comes with a truly secure email service. Sign up today and get 50% off your first subscription year. That is 50% off. Truly secure email. Go to startmail.com/Iversen and join millions of people who are moving away from big tech to secure email providers. That is startmail with a T.com/Iversen.